All right, let me just
What are we
tweet
what are we
this out.
what are we pushing to 3 weeks, $20?
Yeah, the rest of the 2024, $20.
That's such a good deal.
The only deals I do
For the people.
for the people. That's right.
Ever heard of it?
Sec- second time, long time. BC or DCTV.
Ho 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 ho. A very merry episode of Lose Big Winners.
I think my
I'm
kid
not
actually
seeing
made
that we're
this.
live. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Let's wait for Alex to tag us in the tweet, and then I will repost it, and then we'll start working through this hefty slate of bowl games
All
on
right,
this
sounds good.
very merry episode of Lose Big Winners. Ho ho ho! Give us a ho ho ho, Mike. Come on.
Ho ho ho!
You may have a second career on the horizon, brother.
Yeah, yeah. I got the total package for it. That's for sure.
That is for sure. Is it going to be a very Merry Christmas in the Gambling God house this year?
Always. Yep. I'm actually done.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. All done.
If you're listening, little gambling gods and godettes, turn off right now. What's the
Yeah.
what's the present you're most excited to dole out?
Uh, shit. See, I don't know because my kids do watch this crap.
Okay, I won't say anything. Say
yeah,
nothing.
No, I have no idea. I don't know what Santa's doing.
Oh man, we're gonna have to cut this in post.
I bet no. I bet they'll be happy though. That's for sure. They
So they
always
listen
are.
to you on the stream?
Yeah, they love it.
How old are they?
I'm gonna be 10 and 12 in a couple weeks.
So
But yeah,
epic.
my 9-year-old knows more freaking sports than anybody I know. You should hear him.
He's
I'll
gonna
catch him
be
at-
one of the best cappers of all time. This
Yeah.
is like his origin story right now.
I'll catch him at night watching 3-hour football games of the Patriots. Be like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "The 2017 Week 3 against the Texans." Like,
Oh,
what?
he's in the lab, dude.
Yeah, he always.
You're building a bionic
I
capper.
am. Yeah, I'm gonna make some money off him. Hopefully.
God bless it.
All right. You want me to retweet and pump it out?
Yeah, Sheer just hit it,
Great.
and I did as well. I did my part.
Great.
Look how green it is. The guy on the right, that's amazing. I am in the Matrix, Mr. First Down.
How ridiculous these glasses are.
You look incredible.
Trying to get in the spirit.
You look jolly. Jolly and merry. How about, what do you say? Should we get this thing off and, to the races, as they say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Two-time guest on Lose Big Winners.
Now I got to get to 5 times. Make it like Booker T.
16-time Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Nature Boy. Woo! Time to learn all caps if you don't know it, listeners, because we got the gambling god in the house. It is bowl season. It is a very merry episode of Lose Big Winners. How about our guy Mike dressing for the occasion? You look absolutely stunning in those glasses.
I appreciate that. I think my kids made these a few years ago, so I had to represent. So
They did a great job because the glasses are terrific. It's getting in the holiday spirit.
yeah, you got Santa, you got the Christmas tree. Can't beat it.
What's missing? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing
Never.
screams holiday season like bowl season. A lot of people were asking me recently, oh, is Lose Big Winners going to go to an early retirement now that the regular season and conference championships are over? Not so fast, my friend. It's bowl season. We've got a great loaded slate of Big Ten bowls. We're going to cover the college football playoff next week, every game in the college football playoff. But today, with the man of Troy himself, Gambling God, we are going to go through every non-CFP bowl game featuring a Big Ten program.
Love it.
Before we get into the slate, let me hype up the Gambling God. Second time on the program. He absolutely murdered the slate when he was on it last time. He's been with DubClub for must be 3 years now. Built a terrific business and earned an amazing audience. Covers pretty much every sport under the sun. And always looking to get new people in the mix. He's running a special right now. Get the rest of 2024 for only $20. Hey, make sure it's a
Can't beat
Merry
it.
Christmas in your house. Little $20 investment for a bunch of winners. Sounds like a good deal to me. Mike, say hello to the listeners at home. Welcome back to the program.
Pleasure to be on again, baby. Let's talk some Bulls. Yeah, that's right. $20 rest of the year. Can't beat it. $20 get you a gallon of milk and a couple dozen eggs at the grocery store. Might as well win instead with me for the rest of the year. Make 2025 a winning year also.
I'm absolutely sold. There's a ton of bowl games to go over, so I'm not going to waste a ton of time. Let's start in the Rate Bowl. First of all, I don't even know where the Rate Bowl is being played. I get the vibe it's Arizona.
Sounds
Is that
like
correct?
It, yes. That
Feels-
sounds about right.
Feels Arizona-y to me. These bowl affiliations change, it seems like, every year, so it's hard to keep track. But this is a very interesting matchup to kick off bowl season between Greg Schiano-led Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the Kansas State Wildcats. Both teams had very up and down years, but finished on strong footing. Kansas State enters the game, as a 6.5-point favorite. Mike, why don't you get us started? Is there anything that has caught your eye as you are looking at the Rate Bowl out in Arizona?
Yeah, so it is at Arizona. Yep, Chase Field. I do
Baseball
like K-State.
stadium, a lot
Yep.
of football on baseball stadiums. That's a
Love
storyline to
that.
watch.
I miss the old days when they used to play in Miami and Oakland. But yeah, I like K-State a lot. Minus 6.5. Rutgers is dead. I don't think they're really going to be playing for anything. I've been gaining a lot of money this year betting against Rutgers, and I'm going to do it again.
You are an enemy of the state of New Jersey, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fine.
they won't let you inside the state lines.
Yeah.
Mike, I got bad news for you, buddy. We're on opposite sides in this one.
Again, come on.
We are enemies on this program. I guess that means I'm in trouble because I'm no professional. Rutgers, to me, screams like they're going to try harder than the other team in the bowl game. They're very, marginally above average overall as a team and a lot of, good, not great players. And I find historically that means they take the bowl games more seriously. They've got a lot of guys that are hurt, but Kansas State has a lot of guys that will not be playing because they're going to the transfer portal. 6.5 points feels like a lot. So, I'll take them. I'm rolling with the Scarlet Knights in this one. Shout out Alpha Dog Sports. We would have loved to have you on the program today. I know you're busy. But I like the Scarlet Knights in Arizona, beating the Wildcats, or at least keeping it to 6 or fewer. So we're going to start duking it out, Mike.
So that's the hardest about these bowl games because you don't know that teams are actually going to be trying or not. I mean, look at Florida State last year. They missed the playoffs and they just didn't even care about the what bowl did they end up playing in that they got smacked in?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Georgia beat the hell out of them, right?
Georgia,
Someplace
yeah,
down
42
south.
nothing. Yeah, so there's a lot of teams that are like, why am I going to try for the freaking mayonnaise bowl? You know what I mean? But then there's other teams that are going to be up and wanting to prove something.
Yeah, we're early in the program. Early in the program, I love to get some educational coaching talking points from a professional like yourself, Mike,
Yeah.
to the listeners at home. How do you approach bowl season differently than, say, a Week 13 regular season matchup in college football?
So a lot different than even say the bowl season compared to this year's playoffs. I have my lines already set. I think Sunday at 1:00 they had the bracket. I looked at that at 1:01 and I had already games locked in as far
that's
as
good.
the playoffs go. So I had my bracket already filled out. But this is a little trickier where you don't know players will opt out and they can opt out in pretty much not last second, but I would wait until the day of or the day before to see what exactly is going on, what injuries, who's opting out, and what's actually going on. So I would wait until before you jump on a line at a bowl game.
That is a great coaching point. Basically, if the teams are going to stay the same, like the college football playoff or even like a regular season college football matchup, take a look at the line right away, and if you like a number, jump on it. Mm-hmm. Whereas with these bowl games where there's a lot of injuries and opt-outs, even if you like the number, take a beat. Wait till the day before the game or the morning of the game to see who's actually going to be playing and who's not.
Exactly. Yep.
how do you gauge motivation factor? Like, are you looking, in addition to who's playing, there's also a lot of variance in bowl season in terms of who is playing, who's actually up for the game versus who's like kind of checked out. Maybe they're looking at it as a vacation. College football bowl games, people forget these guys are sleeping in a hotel all week. It's a lot of kids who maybe haven't been before to a new place. Are you gauging motivation? Is it hard to predict? Are you looking at the weekly events to seeing who's showing up where?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to look at players' individual draft stocks, too. I mean, Cam Ward already came out. He said he's definitely going to be playing in I think they're playing the Pop-Tart Bowl, Miami. He already came out. He's going to want to light it up. So, I mean, I know we're not talking, that's a non-conference Big Ten, but I like them. Colorado already said that they're playing their whole team. Travis Hunter's already a lock for the Heisman, which I don't agree with, but he's already a lock. So, I look for, and Sanders is going to be playing. So teams like that that are going to be, players are going to be coming out and saying, hey, I want to play. Like I said, draft stock, or even like on the opposite side, freshmen who are getting their first chance. They could be trying to show out, say, hey, I want to be the starter next year, because a lot of quarterbacks are transfers. So these are going to be a lot of new quarterbacks playing the bowl game that a lot of fans are familiar with, and they're going to want to show out.
My final question for you, more high level. If you were playing college football in the year of our Lord 2024, would you play in your bowl game or would you sit out?
It all depends. It depends where you are, your position-wise. I mean,
what's the biggest determinant?
I think injuries a lot. So say that's why I'm kind of surprised that Hunter is playing, just because no matter what, he's a lock at a top 3 pick.
So if you were going to be a first-round pick, you'd say, hey, guys, sorry, I'm getting ready for the combine.
It's hard. I never used to be like that, but it just depends where your position is. Like I said, like Cam Ward, I think should definitely play just because he's not a lock right now. And I think a lot of mock drafts have him in as a number 1, number 2 quarterback, but why not play in the bowl games, show out, slam dunk, and then be that number 1 quarterback?
So it's really about draft position. How much are you risking with an injury versus how much extra money can you make if you ball out in a game?
Right. I mean, obviously the schools want you to play too, because money. It's all about money for them too. They win a bowl game, they get a good, nice chunk of change. But yeah, I think it's different for everybody. You don't want to have a Willis McGahee happen to you. I know that was the national championship. You're never going to sit out those games, but it's just, you never know. I mean, injuries can happen every game too, but
practice.
Yeah. That too.
Here's a fun fact. The first ever big time I'm going to sit out a bowl game moment was actually Mike, I'm still going. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Mike, did I lose you?
You hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Lost
okay.
For a little bit.
I got lost in the Christmas tree, I think, on the glasses.
Yeah. I missed that fun fact. The first ever what?
The first ever big time bowl sit out, to my recollection, was my sophomore year at Stanford. Mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey decided he was not going to play in the Sun Bowl because he was going to get prepared for the NFL draft. And at that point in time, it was totally taboo. It was weird at practice. Coach Shaw brought us up after the game or after practice, Christian is not playing, and almost kind of isolated him. He's packing up his stuff. He's getting out of the team hotel where we're staying during bowl prep. And he's not coming to El Paso. See you later. Nowadays, it's obviously very common for lots of people to sit out for draft reasons or just because they're transferring to a different school next year.
Yeah.
And every school has a different approach, whether it's pack up your shit and get out of here or, okay, you can transfer, but we'd still love to have you at the bowl game or things like that.
Yeah, it's a domino effect. Once one guy does it, then another guy will, and then it's just... Yeah, I mean, I wish it would never happen. I wish we could see these guys in every game, but...
There is something to be said, Mike, for what you said about earning yourself some extra money. Not to talk too much about the 2016 Stanford football team. Solomon Thomas went and played in the Sun Bowl in El Paso, had 4 sacks, ended up being the 2nd pick in the NFL draft. And he definitely would not have been 2nd, maybe 3rd, if he had sat out that bowl game. So your point about, okay, it can be a show-me game too, is spot on, because whether front office NFL executives will admit it or not, there is some recency bias. And if you're playing in a bowl game, you're playing against a pretty good team that's won 6 games.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to earn some money.
Yeah, yep. You don't want to. I remember Matt Barkley. I mean, this doesn't have to do with bowl games, but Matt Barkley would have been, I think, a top 5 pick or even top 3 after his junior year. But they were on probation, and they were actually really good that year. And he's like, "I'm coming back." He came back. I think they went like 7-5. He was a 6th-round pick. So
Oops.
you just never know what's going to happen.
It's a crazy world. What a perfect segue as we move to the Las Vegas Bowl with your squad, the USC Trojans, playing against the Aggies of Texas A&M. USC is a 3-point favorite. I assume because you love the Trojans, you've been studying this line since it came out. Some interesting transfer portals for the Trojans.
Yeah.
Miller Moss is obviously leaving. Deuce Robinson is leaving. Connor Wiegman on the other side, Texas A&M, is also leaving. So a lot of portal guys, 2 big-time blue blood programs in a very mid-bowl game. What do you like in this one? USC 3-point favorite as of this writing.
So I can never go against USC, so I'm going to have to take them, although I think I'm just going to be small on that. The best play of that game, the best bet of that game is over 51.5, in my opinion. I love that. I think there's going to be points. I actually like to say A&M team a lot this year. I took them against Texas. It didn't work out that good.
Yeah.
But, I like the way that their offense is rolling. And I think USC is going to have a lot of players stepping up on offense. And I think we're going to see a good fashion game.
I said USC is a 3-point favorite. I misspoke. USC is a 3-point dog. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see a game. I don't know if it's going to be a good game. From my perspective, both these teams have been pretty fraudulent all year.
Yeah.
So I'm probably staying away. You got 2 fraudulent teams I don't like in a game that I don't know if they're going to care about. So I hope they have a terrific time in Vegas. I hope they gamble responsibly. Yeah, a lot of these guys are 21, so God only knows what's going to happen during the week. We'll see how motivated they are when the whistle blows.
Yeah, we'll see. I just like the points. Give me points for this game.
Hell yes, brother. All right, let's move to another battle of at least one blue blood. The Pinstripe Bowl. More football on baseball fields. We're headed to the Bronx. The Boston College Eagles and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska is holding pretty steady as a 2.5-point favorite. The total is sitting at 45.5. Nebraska has a ton of portal people. I don't really know why, but it's like shocking. Boston College also has Castellanos, their quarterback, who was good early in the year, and I think ended up getting benched.
Yeah,
he's portaling out. So
problem.
Yeah, you're the Boston guy, as we can tell by the accent, I'm afraid to say. What's the story in what's it called, Chestnut Hill?
Yeah.
And any read you like on this for this game?
So I was really high on the kid last year going into this year. I thought he was going to be awesome, but I don't think it had to do with play. I think he just has a crap attitude. So they said you're done for the year. But I still like BC. I think the wrong team's favorite. BC money lines to play.
Ooh, look at you.
Mm-hmm.
This is year 1 of the Bill O'Brien era. They really started off kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like they had some impressive wins early in the season and totally petered out towards the end. They remind me of kind of like a Pittsburgh, similar arc or trajectory of the season. They beat Florida State at Florida State when it felt like that was still a big game.
Yeah, that looks like a huge but meaningless game now.
Beat Michigan State at home when it felt like that was a big dub. But at the end of the season, I mean, they got some nice wins. They beat Pitt at home. They beat UNC at home. They beat Syracuse at home. All good teams. Syracuse probably the best of that trio. So, yeah, it feels a little odd that they're dogs in this one.
Yeah.
I also think Nebraska's fraudulent. They've got a ton of portal people. I don't trust the Huskers this year. It feels like they're still a year away.
I can't see O'Brien. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
can't
see O'Brien not having his team up and motivated for his first year at a bowl game too. No matter how quote unquote meaningless it can be, this is his first bowl game, so he wants to make an impact. He wants to make a statement. Yeah, BC money line. Don't need the points.
Absolutely love that storyline, and I think you talked me into betting the Golden Eagles. This is a
Nice.
fun bowl game, by the way. Not every bowl game is fun. I think it's very cool that they play at Yankee Stadium. It's a historic venue, obviously. New York City would be a fun place to be for the week leading up to the bowl game. So I'm a big supporter of this game, and I hope it's a good one. Good matchup, honestly.
It is, yeah.
They get some sneaky good matchups in this game, and they tend to fill it. Last year they had Rutgers-Miami, filled it up to 35,000. Here's the one thing I'll say about the Pinstripe Bowl that's making me think about betting Nebraska. The Big Ten is 8-1 in this bowl, and the ACC is 1-8. You got to go back to 2015 when Duke beat Indiana 44-41 in overtime in front of a packed house of 37,000 fans to see the last time the ACC beat the Big Ten in this bowl game. I know it's meaningless, but it's sabermetrics, huh?
Yeah. Well, that changes this year.
There you go. I love betting against the trend. Okay, let's go to another big-time city in this beautiful country we call the United States of America, Nashville, Tennessee. Country music capital of the world. Are you a country music guy, Mike?
I dabble in it here and there.
I could see it. The Iowa Hawkeyes, after a very workmanlike 8-4 season, head to Nashville to play the Missouri Tigers in the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Mizzou is a 3-point favorite. The total is sitting at 40.5. Alex Shear is back to talk about the Hawkeyes. Alex, how about you get the first word on this one? Where are the Hawkeyes at from a roster perspective, from an opt-out perspective, and where are you at from a vibes perspective heading into this matchup of black and gold versus black and gold?
Vibes are pretty low. We have a scout team linebacker playing quarterback, so it's never a good position to be in. Brendan Sullivan might play, so he's not completely dead yet. That would be big. But the entire team is opting out, and by that I mean Caleb Johnson. So it is going to be hard to get anything going. Even any of our pass game has been set by them forced to loading up the box to stop him. So I'm not really confident we're going to be able to score. If I had a realistic pick with no Caleb Johnson, I'm going to say under. I think without Caleb Johnson, we'd probably go back to Iowa football of old, where we're not putting up points and we're trying to make it a gross game. Which would also lead me to take the +3, +3.5 if you can get it. So I think it could be gross. No Luther Burden from Missouri. He's obviously their playmaker. I think they also had their best defender, a defensive end, opt out and go in the portal. So a bunch of no-names playing. I'm going to take Kirk Ferentz's guys in a gross one at +3.5 probably. I just know who I can trust in a gross game like that.
Cade McNamara entered the portal. You crying about that one?
That was the worst $500,000 I think that's ever been spent in the history of mankind was on Cade McNamara. So
is that the going rate in Iowa City for QB1?
That was, and I hope he goes to. Yeah, I hope he goes to a great program like Iowa State and Nebraska. That'd be a great spot for him to really thrive. So, praying for that.
Hell yeah, Mike. What do you got? What an unbelievable rundown from our native Iowa expert. How do you follow that?
That hurts. I didn't know that Johnson wasn't playing. That stings. I'm not gonna kiss Iowa's butt like I did last time here. Although I was right, barely last second. But I am gonna take Iowa, and I always love unders in Iowa. So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be in the same role as Alex, under and +3.5.
What are you gonna do without your classic moneyline parlay X Caleb Johnson to score lock of the week of the month of the year?
I was 8-4 this year, so yeah, I got to find a new system. Maybe I'll take Kamari Moulton, their backup. Just trust the offensive line. We'll see.
8-4 at plus money. That'll put the kids through college. That's a hell of a wager. That guy's Pickett's looking pretty green right now. I'm on the same side as you two. Iowa thrives in the ugly bowl games when they're playing like kind of a mid/overrated SEC opponent who's like SEC, but they're not actually that good. Mizzou screams that to me. This is one of those teams that the record says they're 9-3, but they haven't actually won any good games. And in fact, when they play good teams, they lose by a lot. So I like Iowa in this one. This screams like 17-10 winner where neither side cares a ton, but Iowa's just like got a little bit more pride. I didn't have it as one of my 5 favorite for the bowl season, but I really do like it. Another bowl game that is a fun bowl game. They typically get a pretty good crowd at this one. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Iowans having fun on whatever the street is called, Broadway, down in Nashville.
Yeah. There will be no Busch Light left in Nashville. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, amen to that. Well, that should be an interesting matchup, and the next one certainly will be as well. Talk about a matchup of 2 blue bloods. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thank you.
Alabama and Michigan, a rematch of last year's Rose Bowl college football playoff semifinal. This time, not quite as beautiful a setting. It's the ReliaQuest Bowl. The ReliaQuest Citrus Bowl, I believe, or I don't even know what the actual...
Yeah,
it's just the ReliaQuest Bowl.
Yeah.
That's special. Anyway, Michigan's a 10-point favorite. The total sitting at 42.5. Mike, how about you get us started? Where are you leaning in this matchup of 2 perennial college football powers that have been kicked to the curb in Tampa?
Bama -10. I really like them. Michigan. See, it's hard for me to go against Michigan after what they did to Ohio State, but I think that was more Ohio State crapping down their leg more than Michigan. I mean, Michigan is not a good offensive team at all. I think Bama's going to be coming out. The only thing, this is another game, wait and see to see what who's playing and who's not. So that's going to be a wait and see game for me too. But if I had to lean, I would definitely lean on Bama -10.
You were just ready to roll with it. You knew right away.
Oh yeah, yep. The over-under, I really don't have a read to. I mean, I would lean under just because it is Michigan. But, again, I just want to see the complete roster before kickoff to see who's playing and who's not.
That is a very fair ask. This is one of those, as I just talked about in the Pinstripe Bowl, which has been very Big Ten dominant. This has historically been a pretty SEC dominant matchup. SEC is 20-13 in this game. The Big Ten is 13-22. Michigan, obviously, 7-5, not a great season. Alabama's a team that was complaining about not making the college football playoff at 9-3. So it's understandable, but why Bama's a big favorite in this one. With that being said, I like Michigan getting the points.
Yeah.
I know they're not going to have at least Mason Graham, one of their stud defensive tackles. I believe he's opting out, to your point, to go get ready for the NFL draft. But this is a team that doesn't have a ton of NFL guys on it in the all-22 right now. Will Johnson hasn't played in forever. So I just don't think they're going to be like missing a bunch of people for this game. I don't know how up Jalen Milroe will be. I'm not a big believer in Bama overall this year. And Michigan really, I know it was a rivalry game, so it's hard to assign too much weight to it. But I think Michigan really started to figure stuff out towards the end of the year, starting with that Indiana game where they were really in a position to win, beating the crap out of Northwestern and then winning on the road at Ohio State. I don't know if they win this game, but I think they'll keep it to a one-score game. The quarterback, this is like his legacy game. He's never going to play another game of football in his life.
He might not even play quarterback ever again. They might put him at punter or something.
Well, I think he's like a 14th-year senior. I imagine he's going to really like, hey, this is my legacy game. He seems like a really nice, hardworking kid. Keep the guys super locked in. Whereas on the other side, you got a team that's wishing that they were in the college football playoff and kind of complaining that they weren't. Reminds me of a Florida State last year where they go and get the absolute doors beat them off them in a non-college football playoff game. Obviously, I mean, Michigan is not Georgia, and I don't think, but I don't think Bama is as good as Florida State last year. Florida State had a ton of opt-outs, so it's not a perfect comp. I think that the storyline here is these SEC schools, when they don't get what they want with respect to the college football playoff, tend to be a little whiny and checked out for the bowl game.
Yeah, we'll see. My biggest CFB future was Bama under 9.5 wins this year. Cash that.
Bravo to that. What did you see early in the season, or over the summer, I should say, that made you confident putting that wager down?
no Nick Saban, and they didn't look the. Everybody just takes Bama just because of the name, as I have Bama -10 right now. But yeah, everybody just likes Bama, thinking it's the same old Bama that they've seen the last, 10, 15 plus years, just dominating everybody. But they're not. They showed that in the playoffs last year, and they have holes. I can't put my money on Michigan. I know their defense is nothing like it used to. It's still a great defense, but it's not like it's been. And like I said, I think that was more Ohio State losing to themselves than Michigan beating Ohio State.
How would you grade Kalen DeBoer's first season in Tuscaloosa?
It's hard. I mean, look what you're coming into, and nobody's gonna really put him on a pedestal, but I think he handled it well, and see what he does in a year or two.
9-3 is a hell of a record in the
yeah.
SEC.
Mm-hmm.
They played at least one real non-conference opponent. Went up to Camp Randall, beat the hell out of Wisconsin. When the expectation is playoff or bust, that's a tough situation to walk into.
Of course, yeah. Nobody wants to walk into that.
But you think he's got a chance to be the guy in Tuscaloosa?
I think he does. With the name alone, I think he can still get some transfer portals and get some recruits. But we'll have to just wait and see. I think the SEC is loaded. I don't know if Bama's even close to the top yet, but wait and see.
What about Sharon Moore? Let's go to the Michigan side. Another coach that's replaced a legend, national champion winner. Had some ups and downs, finishes the season 7-5, but beats his arch nemesis on the road. How are things looking in Ann Arbor? Is Sharon Moore the guy, or is this another wait-and-see situation?
I think he looks like the guy. I mean, he took over for Harbaugh for how many? 2 games last year, right? Was Harbaugh suspended for?
That feels right.
Yeah, the players seem to really like him. He had some big wins. He did. I mean, they weren't obviously world busters by no means, but he had a lot to deal with all those players going to the NFL this year. So I think he did a lot with nothing. So yeah, it's more of a wait and see with him too, but I think he has a bright future there.
They seem to really be picking up steam on the recruiting front and the NIL front. So they flipped the number 1 recruit in the nation at a position they sorely need. Bryce Underwood, local kid, is going to go play quarterback for Michigan. And all of a sudden, they're like throwing the dollar signs around like crazy, which is a huge predictor of success, as we've learned in this new landscape of college football. Okay, let's go to the next game, which is another one featuring a participant in last season's college football playoffs, and in fact, the national championship runner-up last year. The Washington Huskies, another team that has had to replace its coach, Kalen DeBoer, who just headed south to Tuscaloosa. Not quite the college football playoff for the Huskies this year. They're headed to El Paso, Texas, in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. This is a game I know well, a game I participated in twice in my illustrious career. They're playing the Louisville Cardinals. 5.5-point dogs are the Huskies. Total is sitting at 50.5. Feels like every game the Big Ten team is facing an opponent who has 2 more wins than they did in the regular season. That's probably a function of the Big Ten getting 4 teams into the college football playoff and no other conference getting more than 3. But it results in a lot of unfavorable matchups for these non-playoff games. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Oh, wow. The line has moved a lot. It's actually sitting at 3 now. Jeez Louise. Anything
4.
you like. You got it at 4. I saw it at 5.5. I now see it at 3. GG's got it at 4. This thing's all over the place. What do you like in this classic CBS game, the Sun Bowl presented by Tony the Tiger?
Same thing kind of with Michigan. They lost a lot in the draft this year. Louisville showed some flashes early on. They were into some games, but then they crapped down the line. I like if I can get a 3, I like Louisville a little bit more than the over. So I think my official play is going to be Louisville -3. Maybe wait a little bit, see if it goes down a little bit more. If you can get 2.5 or 2, that'd be a lot better. Not a football number. And then I'm going to lean the over.
These are 2 teams that have both had very interesting years.
Yeah.
I mean, just good, solid teams. Washington had a gauntlet schedule. I don't know what their strength of schedule is, but like they lost to 3 college football playoff teams: Oregon, Penn State, Indiana. So it doesn't get more quality than those. Also lose a tough road games at Rutgers, at Iowa. The Washington State game is probably the one they wish they could have back. And Louisville's very similar. I mean, they lost to SMU, Notre Dame. Those are 2 college football playoff teams. Miami was a whisker away from making the college football playoffs. And you know, inexplicably blow a game to Stanford, go Card, on the road. That's the one that they wish that they could have back. So it feels like 2 evenly matched teams. I've watched Washington play a lot. Candidly, I haven't seen Louisville play a ton. And Washington has come across as a very sound team to me. So if you can get this one at 5.5, I would run to the counter and grab it. But it sounds like that line is now stale. But it's also bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, it's interesting why it moved that much. Somebody must be out or something. I'll have to look at that more.
Yeah, let's take a quick gander at the old opt-out machine. Bear with us if you don't mind. Louisville's got a lot of people who are portaling it. I don't know the roster extremely well, but the fact that there's so many bullet points here is telling me that, you know, maybe that's part of the reason why this number's tanking.
Yeah, I see 2.5 now. So is it? It
Uh-oh.
must be happen. It must
They're
be
listening
happening
to the
live
stream.
right now.
They're listening to the stream in Vegas. Sun Bowl's another really fun game, by the way.
Yeah.
The people in El Paso really take it seriously. It's very clearly a point of pride. They've been playing that game forever. Man, this is, I believe, the 90th edition of the game. And the town always balls out for it. A lot of great food in El Paso. I spent two December weeks in El Paso in my Stanford football career. 2-0. Here's another fun fact. 2-0 in Sun Bowl games. 2-0 against first-round NFL draft pick quarterbacks. Can you name them? This is a good trivia question for you.
Oh, jeez. What colleges were they?
I'm not going to tell you that, Mike. We got some time to burn, and I want to see you sweat.
What year was it?
I'm not
tell
going
me
to
that?
tell you that either. I'll tell you. I'm not going to tell you that. I'll tell you I'm 28 years old.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Trying to think here. You said 2
Stanford,
first round?
Pac-12 school.
Yep.
I beat, me personally, 2 first-round NFL quarterbacks in the Sun Bowl. Not in the same game, 2 different games.
It wouldn't be Lamar, right?
No Lamar. Good guess. Good ACC quarterback, first-round
Trying
pick.
to think.
Louisville has never played in the Sun Bowl, to my knowledge, in the Wikipedia page. Oh, excuse me, they played in 1958, and, of course, in 2024.
Trying to think of quarterbacks first round that that would have been in the Sun Bowl.
I know you're. Are you on ChatGPT right now?
I'm not. No. I don't cheat.
ACC school, first round. I'll give you a hint. Both of them are no longer starting in the NFL.
It wasn't Mitch.
Mitchell,
Okay.
nailed it.
And this other one was an ACC school?
Yes, but not like an ACC school that you would think of, probably.
Yeah.
Is that a hint? They're still in the ACC.
We're trying to go through ACC teams. Who was on Duke? Duke?
These were both good games. We won in 2016 by 2 points, and 2018 by 1 point. That's another hint, buddy.
Duke, UNC.
I've stumped the gambling god.
Wasn't. You got to tell me, because I'm going to piss me off the rest of the
Kenny
show.
Pickett, how
I
about
was
it?
going to say that.
The
That's
Pitt
crazy.
Panthers. The Pat Narduzzi-led Pitt Panthers.
Swear I was going to say it, but I'm like, there's no way. For some reason, I thought he was a little bit younger. Shit.
No, we're the same age. Same.
Well, I should
same
get a
stations
bonus
in
point for I was gonna say it, so it's 1.5
Yeah.
points, I
Shoulda,
guess.
coulda, woulda. He's got a couple extra zeros in the bank account versus me, but we were in college at the same time. Here's a fun fact. That was my last college football game I ever played. I obviously didn't play. I was walk-on. And I maybe was overserved afterwards. Missed my flight in the morning. Not a ton of flights from El Paso to Chicago on
Yeah,
New
I can't
Year's Day.
imagine. Yeah.
I ended up spending the entire day in the El Paso airport, but I did get to sit next to Kenny Pickett's mother on the way home. She was a very nice woman. Had nothing but
nice.
great things to say about Kenny. This was before Kenny had really blown up.
Yeah.
I think he got drafted a few years later. He had that amazing run in the
That's what I
ACC
was thinking of,
championship
yeah.
game. Yeah, exactly. He is younger, but he was the starter in that game, and that was a good
Yeah.
Pitt team. Pitt's had a few good teams. They've been in that Sun Bowl game a few times, and that was a
See,
particularly
that's something
strong
you'll remember
squad.
forever. Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. You'll never forget that.
I still remember all these years later.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of the state of Texas and head to the other Sunshine State, the Citrus Bowl. South Carolina, another team that maybe justifiably has beef about not being invited to the college football playoff. It's playing in the Citrus Bowl against a 9-3 Fighting Illini squad from Illinois. 10.5-point favorite are the South Carolina Gamecocks. Total is sitting at 47.5 for this battle among 9-3 squads at the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Winner gets doused with a bowl of Cheez-Its. Where are you looking to sink your teeth, gambling god?
I'm seeing so it is still 11. All right, so I am going to do South Carolina minus 11. They're a great team. They definitely have a bigger gripe, I would say personally, than Alabama not making it. I think they're going to have a lot to prove. They're not going to flatline like Florida State last year. I think they want to show, listen, this is why we're here, especially when SMU gets smoked. And I'll just leave it at that. We can talk about that for the playoffs. But yeah, I like South Carolina a lot. I would lean on over 47.5. Illinois has a good offense, but my favorite play out of that game would be South Carolina minus 11.
Before we get into the game, we've touched on it a few times yet. Did the committee make the right call with SMU getting in over Alabama? And do you think Alabama should be the first team out? It was Alabama, then Miami. You think they got it wrong on that front as well?
Alabama had 2 losses against 2 6-6 teams, and they had 3 losses total. They didn't deserve to go in at all. I don't think. You can look at strength of schedule, but at the end of the day, like I just said, they lost to 2 6-6 teams. So
Unacceptable, disqualifying.
I think at South Carolina, if SMU ended up beating Clemson, which they didn't, I think South Carolina should have got in over Bama, but that didn't happen. So I think as of right now, they got it right. No real big right, but South Carolina is a good team.
I think this is a higher quality bowl game from like an earnings perspective than the ReliaQuest Bowl. This is a New Year's Day bowl. It's got a name that is not just the ad sponsor. So I think that is a nod to saying South Carolina had a better season than Alabama, or maybe just they expect the fan base to be more excited about coming down, whereas like
for sure.
Alabama, this is more of a letdown year. This is actually a pretty darn good year for the Gamecocks. It's a pretty darn good year for Illinois, too. These are 2 good teams, a very interesting matchup. I tend to agree with you, though. I think my lean would be on South Carolina. For whatever reason, I feel like they will be motivated headed into this football game. Illinois has been solid all year, but they really have not been competitive with like the upper echelon opponents they've played. They lost by 2 scores to Penn State. They lost by 30 points to Oregon. I feel like South Carolina is more in that echelon of competition than where Illinois has really stacked a bunch of W's, which is more like the mid-tier of the Big Ten.
And from what I see, I don't think South Carolina is really having anybody noticeable sitting out this game either. So I think they're going to be trying to go in and win this game. I think they're going to try to do it handily too.
I agree. I noticed it's not even in this Covers.com opt-out report, but Illinois' top wide receiver will not be playing in this game. Pat Bryant, who's been a great player for them and had a great career. The one thing I will say is if Illinois' quarterback plays, which I do expect him to play because I don't think he's going to be a first or second round pick by any stretch of the imagination, trying to make some money in this one. He's a gamer. And he's a really good player, and he feels like one of those guys that could, show up to the bowl game and throw for 400 yards. And 10.5 is a lot of points against
It is. Yeah.
Illinois. That is a good, sound, solid team that's got a good coach, and they're building a lot of momentum. I think they're going to be up for this game and really look at this as like a launching pad to 2025. So I expect this to be one of the better games of bowl season. I'm probably staying away, but I don't hate your play at all.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I just looked again. I don't think they're really sitting anybody, South Carolina, so I can't see why they want to come out and try to be to the committee FU, you know what I mean, and come out and swinging.
So we said, or at least my conjecture was that Bama would not really be up for the game because they felt like they should have made the playoffs. South Carolina, by the same token, we're saying that they're going to be trying to show the committee that they were wrong. What do you think the difference between those two programs is, or do you think I'm wrong in the fact that I'm questioning Bama's motivation?
Well, I don't think I don't think as many people are talking about South Carolina missing it as they are. I think it's all about Bama missing it, so I think they have a lot to prove and being like, why aren't people helping us? Everybody's bitching about Bama. Why aren't they bitching about South Carolina, the fake USC? Why aren't they talking about that? I had to throw that in there.
Love it. The fake USC. Throw your shade. Get your shots in.
Yeah.
The other,
nobody's really not that, I mean, besides like top like people that actually like cappers, but besides that, no, like the media is just talking about should Bama been in, not really anything about South Carolina. So I think they're going to be playing this as they've been disrespected. So I think that lights a fire under all their asses.
it's also a program that fancies itself on the rise, and this doesn't feel like a disappointing finish to their season.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Playing in a New Year's Day Bowl for South Carolina, that's a success. Obviously, they wish they were playing in the college football playoff, but this is unambiguously a successful season for Shane Beamer, and they are looking forward to 2025 with a lot of excitement, trying to put an exclamation point on it. Bama, on the other hand, I know you said it's year one, it's hard. This is a disappointing season in Tuscaloosa for the Tide. So it's harder to say they're going to be super jazzed or motivated versus like just ready to turn the page and forget about this year.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Bama -10 just because I can't put my money on Michigan. But it'll be interesting to see what teams actually do end up caring, and you can totally tell the teams that are just packing it in.
It's
Usually
very
you can tell,
easy
like,
early in
first
the
half.
game.
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right away, you know you're on the wrong side.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can go. Are we live betting in those situations, or you just take it on the chin and move on with your life?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what the live bet goes down to. I was live betting in SMU all night the other night against Clemson. I ended up covering a lot, but yeah, it depends what down the line goes. But yeah, like you said, and I totally agree. You can tell right off the rip when teams are like, "Yep, this is it." Well, I don't give a crap about the Cheez-It Bowl or Taco Bell Bowl, nothing like that. We're packing it in.
Speaking of bowl games which have a food affixed to the beginning of the bowl we've all been waiting to talk about. It's the Duke's Mayo Bowl in the great state of North Carolina. Who's going to get drenched in mayonnaise in the last bowl game of this program between the Fightin' Golden Gophers of Minnesota and the Hokies of Virginia Tech? Minnesota is a 5.5-point favorite. The total is sitting at 42.5. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Mike? Like any action heading into the Mayo Bowl between the Gophers and the Hokies?
Yeah, I got to do some more research on that to see who's actually not playing, and because what I've looked at right now, I think Virginia Tech has a formidable team, and I don't know why. I think 5.5 is a lot for them against Minnesota, so I'm going to be leaning towards that. I like the over 42 a little bit more, but this is definitely a more research game before I pencil in a definite play. But if I had to lean, it would be VTech plus 5.5 in the over right now.
We got to get in the lab.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think that's interesting. Here's a fun fact for you. Bring this out at your Christmas party this week. This is a matchup between two head coaches that have never lost a bowl game at their current school. Obviously, Brent Pry at Virginia Tech is only in his third year. This is only his second bowl game, but he won the Military Bowl last year. PJ Fleck, holy cow, 5-0 in bowl games as the head football coach at Minnesota. Quick Lane Bowl, Outback Bowl, Guaranteed Rate, Pinstripe, Quick Lane. He's not playing in the Orange Bowl, but the man is 5-0, and he's headed back.
Impressive.
Or excuse me, this is his first ever appearance in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, a very prestigious bowl for lovers of mayonnaise. Does that play into your calculus at all as you're getting in the lab, Mike, or you think every year is a totally different situation?
I look at it every year is totally different. I mean, in some scenarios, yeah, but I think for something like this, I think it's a different situation.
I mean, going back even to the Western Michigan days for PJ Fleck, the only bowl game, he did lose the famous Idaho Potatoes Bowl in 2014 and the Cotton Bowl in 2016. That's a pretty big bowl. But I do think there's something to be said for coaches that get guys ready for bowl games. Yeah. I think there are definitely, I think Minnesota's going to be up for this game. Similarly to what I said about Rutgers, a lot of above average but not terrific players who are thinking about being a first-round pick. That means more of them are going to be in the let's use this as an opportunity to make some more money and maybe end up getting drafted as opposed to being undrafted. Right, or just accumulate some more tape if I'm trying to go pro, or put on some good tape so I can jockey for a starting position next year. You know, so much gets talked about these high-level, top-line, A-plus players sitting out games. But that's, 1 to 3% of a roster. And at a school like Minnesota, it's 0% of the roster. So I imagine they'll be very up for the game, very prepared. And PJ Fleck clearly knows how to get the guys ready. I'm probably leaning Minnesota minus 5.5 because that number's so big. Haven't seen Virginia Tech play a ton this year. But the fact they went 6-6 is not a great sign. I mean, the ACC is not really a murderer's row of opponents. Losses to Duke, Clemson, Syracuse, Miami, Rutgers, Vanderbilt. Nothing jumping off the page as ugly, but still not inspiring a ton of confidence either.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a research game. I would say for my favorite plays, after the whole card that we talked about, I would probably say BC Moneyline, especially for that number, would be my favorite play. And Iowa +3.
The Eagles and the Hawkeyes. It's all about the birds on Lose Big Winners this week. If you want all of Mike's plays, and if you can't appreciate by now, I don't know when you will, he's a very sharp capper. Click the link in the comments below the stream. He's running a special, $20 for the rest of 2024. Make sure it's a very Merry Christmas. Yeah. Talk your book a little bit. What can folks expect over the next few weeks of 2024? Ton of great action in your DubClub.
So you got NFL rolling into the playoffs. You got Mr. CFB plus 113 through the year. You got the playoffs coming in. You got the bowl games. You got winners. You got NBA in full swing, NHL in full swing, college basketball in full swing. You get all that. You never miss a day. Plays come out early morning because I'm in the lab early morning, late night, following night, previous night I should say. So get a winners daily, hard working, 24/7.
24/7. Some have called him the hardest working man in the business. I know it to be true. This man is a machine. We've got a few extra minutes. The Prop the Mic guys will be joining any second now. But before they enter, I think you owe it to the audience to give out some college football playoff bold predictions. We're going to do a full breakdown next week with a bunch of SEC cappers to really catch them up to speed. But I want to hear from you before we let you go. Give me one or two bold predictions for the inaugural 12-team college football playoff.
Do you want to get bold, Lewis?
Talk to me.
Tennessee money line. Tennessee money line. I think they handle Ohio State. Yeah, I'm gonna do +8, a little bit more because I'm a baby. But Tennessee money line for some lunch money. I love that game. I love Tennessee. It's a little juice bag, a little Capri Sun. Tennessee team.
What's
total,
that paying?
Tennessee team total over 16.5 is -160. I mean, so I love that game the most. If it wasn't a noon game, I hate how they did the whiteout Penn State at noon. I mean, it's just a proven fact that home games are a lot better for the home crowd when they're all looped up at night than a 12 p.m. game. But I like Penn State a lot. I like ND a lot, -8. I love the under even more. Texas -11, and that over 53.5 at SMU. But Tennessee, man, I think they're going to do it.
That's the Juice Box special. You heard it here first. Money line. Keep the points. I don't need them.
No.
What's that paying? +2 something?
It was +260, I think I saw it last.
Woo!
Yeah, not bad.
Very
huh?
Merry Christmas at the Gambling God
Yeah.
household. I'm all over it. I'm taking the points because I'm a wimp.
I'll definitely take the points too, but yeah, and they're gonna get smoked by Oregon.
Is that
Future
just a
Oregon-
matchup issue, or why are you so high on Tennessee?
I'm just so out on. I have been. I like Nico a lot. I like their offense. They have a great running game. They've won me a lot of money this year, covering and winning. So I like them a lot. And Ohio State is just. I personally think they're going to come out flat. I mean, there's no way that the team can even enjoy having Ryan Day as their coach anymore.
Tom is in the house. Tom, hang out with us. Look at that
Yeah.
idyllic backgrook. It looks
I
like
love
you're
it.
like on some sort of beautiful farm. We got Dave in the house. You guys are putting our backgrounds to shame.
Yeah.
Look, Gambling
This is
God
my
is
real
like
life
in.
background.
Yeah, this is like some.
Love
He's
the
got-
glasses, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he's got the upper hand on
That's
you
it,
two.
yeah.
You guys were not prepared.
Yeah.
We were
I'm
not.
just a company man here with my sign and my shirt.
Yeah.
Tom, where are you? Be honest. Is this a real background?
Yeah, this is my background in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely don't live in Massachusetts like me.
No, that's actually the Pacific Ocean. You can't see it. That's the Pacific Ocean right there.
If you guys don't want to subscribe
Must
to
be
a guy
nice.
with a background like that, I mean, what are you doing with your world? Look at Dave in the man cave getting totally put to shame by the rolling hills of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, it's not glamorous. Only what you're seeing looks good. Everything over this way is like really, it's all
chaotic
kid
mess.
stuff over there. It's
Yeah.
bad.
That's how this is
Yeah.
over here. Clothes and shoes over here.
Yeah, it's all false reality here.
Facade.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game, I'm afraid. All right, well, Mike, thank you for joining us. We got to hand it off to
Appreciate
the
it,
Pop
guys.
the Mic guys. It's NBA Cup Finals week. Holy
Let's go.
cow! How about
Yes.
the NBA Cup? They've got some real juice going. Great job actually getting people to watch NBA regular season basketball,
Yeah.
even without having some parlay slips involved. So I know you guys always kill it on this program. So I'm gonna hang up and be a listener.
Good to
Awesome,
see you,
man.
Lou.
Good
Great to see you as
Lou.
always.
All right.
We got Alex coming on.
I don't
or
know
is
if
it just
Alex
us?
is coming. I think he's gotten comfortable. with
I'm
us.
here, but you guys are ready to go. I don't think you need a transition. I think
We're
we
all
get right
warmed
to
up.
it.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
All right.
All
Go
right.
for it.
All right. So here we go. Back on our regular spot here on DCTV Wednesday afternoons. Before we jump into this 2-game NBA Cup quarterfinal slate tonight, real quick, just want to remind everyone the special promo we've got going on with Props.cash. Give PTM viewers 50% off their first month using code PTM50. You're going to see us using Props.cash throughout this entire podcast, looking at our alt props and our picks from our model and seeing what we're going to put 5 stars to and what we're going to put 4 stars to. So take advantage of the opportunity to try it out for yourself at 50% off using code PTM50. You ready to go, Dave?
I am. I even took out the Nets hat today. I'm a Knicks fan, but I do have a Nets hat, so every once in a while I'll put that on. Just
Even
to,
though the Knicks are playing tonight.
even though the Knicks are playing.
All right.
Yeah, but Mikal Bridges is now. A
Oh,
Knick,
so in
there's-
honor
there's
of
the
Mikal
bridge.
Bridges. There we
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Yeah, let's go. I think so last week we went through our alt prop cheat sheet. And I think that worked out pretty well. We went through, we rated everything on that list that we thought was like a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. I think we ended up playing everything that was a 5-star for the Lakers Heat game, and all of those hit except for AD.
AD 7 rebounds, right?
Seven. I think he ended up with 7 rebounds. We needed
Yeah.
8 or 9
Yeah.
or something like that. So, of course, AD ruined the show a little bit, but we did do really well. So let's do it again.
And that was, if I remember correctly, that was an overall down market, down day for the entire prop market, right? It was at 42% or something that day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's a good point. Just before we dive in, Tom and I, we actually track the overall performance of the market. We look at all the points, rebounds, assists, props that come out for the day, and we actually have a trend. So we're able to give our Discord members not just a statistics on how we're doing, but how the overall market's doing. And really, since the beginning of December, there's been a shift, right? The market's gotten a little tighter. The lines have gotten a little sharper, but I think this week with the NBA Cup, the extended minutes, less blowouts, hopefully we'll see a shift back. But let me pull up the all prop cheat sheet, just reorient those who weren't on last week's pod. All right, so this is our world famous alt prop cheat sheet. Basically, we utilize props.cash data to pull this together each day, post it in the Discord for our Discord members for about a year. I think we started this last December, so it's been about a year since we've been creating this. Basically, it's just opportunities for alt builders. So as an example, look across the top. The first row here is our guy, Karl Anthony Towns. Plays on the Knicks, playing against the Hawks tonight. Center. The first prop we're looking at is his rebound prop. That's set at 12.5 rebounds tonight, but the alt that we're looking at, the alternative line is 10. He's got a 91% hit rate for the entire season for 10 rebounds, which is crazy. He's cleared this in 100% of his last 10 games, so 10 of 10. He's played the Hawks versus opponent. He's played the Hawks once this season, cleared in that game, so 1 of 1. And his DVP, that's just a ranking of how good the Hawks are at defending opposing centers. From a rebounding standpoint, they're giving up the 13th most, 13 out of 30, 13th most rebounds to opposing centers. And then we just got some additional information on his projection, 1.5 times the number, and then a cleaning the glass rank as well, which just means he's like in the top 7% of centers rebounding. So that's kind of what we're going to look at. We're going to go through this full list if we can get through the whole thing in the next hour, and we're going to rank these, and then we're going to try to come up with some builders from these. Sound good?
let's go.
All right, let's go.
Great dude loves my rubber plant. I appreciate that. I got a nice big rubber plant right behind me here.
I can't even see.
Thanks, man.
All right, so let's pull up props.cash and let's start going through the list. First one that we just went through was Cat. This is going to be a quick conversation because, like I said, those statistics are insane, right?
And we were on him for his straight line today, right? 12.5. So
yeah.
So 10 is a no-brainer. Let's give it 5 stars. Let's move on.
Yeah, and just he put up 16 rebounds against Atlanta, so just to give a little more.
He's going to play big minutes and good matchup. Good matchup for him.
All right, so the next one on our list is Josh Hart for 6 rebounds.
Feels good. Let's take a look.
All right, so we gave Cat a 5-star, right?
You want me to do that? You want me to do the stars?
Yeah, you can update the stars.
All right.
Okay, so Josh Hart for 6 rebounds. Obviously Josh Hart's ability to grab rebounds with Cat out there grabbing 16 a game has been diminished a little bit this season, but still, I mean, he's averaging 8.3 rebounds this season. He is, I think he had a pretty good game against Atlanta. He cleared, with 8 rebounds, actually 3 straight games versus Atlanta. And he just is coming off of a down game where he only had 4 rebounds. So, any other stats on this? Is it
the game matchup? We had him for PRA in that game. He failed us.
He did.
That was the game against Toronto. No, but I love the 6. He's going to play big minutes in this game, right? This is like playoff atmosphere. So, I could see him going back to closer to the, 38, 37, 38 minutes. And what's that? That's him with 35 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's projected to play 35 plus minutes tonight. So you get a 15 out of 17 hit rate. Let's see at home. He's cleared in every game at home this season when he's played 35 plus minutes. So you give this another 5?
I think I might.
All right.
I might. There's going to be a lot of shots put up in this game. What was the total? 236 or something?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of offense, a lot of shots, a lot of rebounds to grab. Love it.
Okay. All right, mark it as a 5. Let's go to OG. So we're just going to cover all the rebounds from this game first. So lots of rebounding opportunities here.
Yeah.
OG for 4 rebounds. He has hit this in 83% of games this season, 8 of his last 10. He did clear against Atlanta. It's not quite as good of a matchup. Atlanta does a better job against forwards than they do guards and centers. And he's not the most efficient rebounder.
No.
But the beautiful thing about OG is he plays monster minutes. He's projected for 40 minutes tonight. We just need 4 rebounds out of him. So you can see that's the 83% hit rate.
Yeah.
What
What I don't love is, like the 2 guys we just looked at. So we have our you mentioned the cleaning the glass, percentiles. So just as a reference, Cat is a 93rd percentile rebounder at his position, which is a big man. Josh Hart is a 99th percentile rebounder at his position, which is wing. OG is a forward. He's a 24th percentile. So bottom quarter of the league at his position in terms of rebounding, and not as good of a matchup. So this one's definitely not going to get 5 stars for me. But what do you? A lot of green on that chart, I will say, but he gets to 4 quite often.
Yeah. I mean, the compelling story is if you take his minutes up to like 38 or something like that, right?
Yeah, look at that.
He's cleared in every game when he hits 38. So he's going to play, barring foul trouble, he'll play, or a blowout, he'll play 40 minutes tonight. So I believe this will hit, but I don't like it as much as the first 2. So I think we give it 4. Yeah. All right. Let's go to, all right, that's it for the Knicks players. We got Jalen Johnson for 7 rebounds. He's awesome.
He is great rebounder, 94th percentile rebounder, and gets a pretty good matchup, 13 DVP. So let's take a look at that chart. He's a guy we've been playing him a lot this season. PR, R. We're on his PR straight today, right? At 28.5, I believe.
Yeah, I believe 28.5, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
So 7 rebounds. He's hit this in 83% of games this season. He's cleared in 8 of his last 10, and 94th percent rebounder at his position. So this seems like a good one.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
like it. I'm giving it 5.
He also had a monster game against the Knicks. He had
Yeah,
15 rebounds in that game. So
Yes, he did.
all right,
5
so let's go.
stars. Jalen
5
Johnson.
stars. All right, Okonwu. Am I right? Is this his birthday today?
Birthday boy. We used to love handicapping with birthdays involved.
Let me see. I gotta confirm. We gotta take a little pause.
I think that is true.
December 12th. December 11th. Guess how old he is.
He is 25.
Close. 24.
All right.
Yeah. So let's see if he gets up for his birthday. But his line is set at 5 rebounds. His minutes have been up. This is honestly a terrible matchup. The Knicks are the best against opposing centers. So both he and Capella, who we're going to talk about next, they're both in terrible matchups. Neither of them cleared the last time they played.
Yeah.
Let's
And
just
that's even without Mitch Robinson, and Precious just came back. Like the Knicks can really just some 2 excited Knicks fans here. But
Knicks Thunder.
let's go.
You heard it here. So he had 6 rebounds. Sorry, I'm looking at Capella. Let's look at Okonwu. He had 4 rebounds against the Knicks. His minutes are kind of variable. He played 20 minutes in that game, but if you look at his last couple games, he's been playing 24 plus minutes. So it's not a bad play. I mean, it's hard to argue with these
He's
hit
at
rates.
5, right? Yeah. I don't love it. He's a 53rd percentile, so middle of the pack. Not a priority for him out there. Whereas the next guy, we'll see in 1 second the difference between the other big man for Atlanta. But this will be a 3-star for me.
Sounds good. Let's do it. All right, Capella is our boy. He's a fading star.
Rebounding. Let's call him a rebounding star.
A rebounding. No, I mean he's just he's kind of. I guess he's having a little surge. Especially after a slow first 10 games this season, he's been kind of back to his old self. So
Yeah.
let's not write him off yet. 72% hit rate on the season, 8 of his last 10. He did miss against the Knicks, which was earlier in the season. You could see it. He had 6 in that game.
Yeah.
We need how many for him? 7 rebounds for him.
Yeah, 7 rebounds for him. 89th percentile rebounder. As you can see, the big difference between him and Okongwu. What he didn't get there. How many did he have in that?
Six rebounds in that
6,
game.
and in how many minutes?
Versus the Knicks, he played 28 minutes, which is a lot for him.
Yeah, he's only projected for 23, 22 tonight, I think.
Yeah,
23 minutes tonight.
This saddens me to say it, but I don't think we can give Clint a 5-star.
No,
I'm not even sure I'd give him a 4-star.
No, I don't like. I mean, Cat's just been such a beast out there, and I think Jalen Johnson's really been. He's the guy, right? He's been grabbing a lot of the rebounds. You see his alt line of 7s the same as Capella's. He's a rebounding monster, and those are the 2 guys I like. So yeah, I'll give Capella a 3 as well, if that's where your head's at.
It's so hard to give a guy a 3
know
when
that.
he's coming off of 2 17 rebound games, but. Against better rebounding teams, goes up against AD, puts up 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll have to pass.
Just push little Clint around.
Nah, man.
Get out of the way. Those are my boards.
All right, Dyson Daniels. This is a better matchup, not a great matchup still. Rebounding against the Knicks overall is tough. 4 rebounds for Daniels. Against the Knicks, he had 5 rebounds, so he cleared in that last one. If we take this down to 4 on props.cash, you could see this is kind of a recent trend. So he's only cleared in 70% of his games this season, but he's got an 80% hit rate over his last 10 and 61% rebounder on cleaning the glass. So he's kind of a little bit above average. What do you think?
He has been a go-to guy for us. He's approaching PTM All-Star status, I think, possibly this season. RA has been a play that we've gone to for him. Straight rebounds. I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more clearance there above the 4s and a bunch of. I don't know. It's definitely not a 5-star play.
That's a 3. I like, if I had to choose between the 3 of those guys, Okongwu, Capella, and Daniels, I'd choose Capella in a second.
Yeah.
So if we're giving Capella a 3, this guy's a 3.
All right. Well, let's go.
All right, let's go to the assists. We got only 2 assist plays in this game. We got Miles McBride at 2 assists and Jalen Brunson at 6 assists. Both guards for the Knicks. The Hawks are giving up the 8th most assists to opposing point guards. Mm-hmm. And both have good hit rates. 71% hit rate for 6 assists for Brunson, 89% hit rate for McBride at 2 assists. So let's dive into McBride first. Not a huge sample.
No, and not a big assist guy, but at 2's not bad. But he just gets there. What are the potentials on those?
Very up and down, man.
Yeah.
Some games he's got 9. He just came off of a 9 potential assist game that converted 5 assists, and then other games he's at 3.
He's out there more for defense and 3s, right? A 3-and-D kind of guy. That's not his primary focus when he's out there. Though he is a 70th percentile passer.
And his nickname is Deuce.
That's good. So we want 2 from Deuce.
I don't know.
If your name's Deuce, you got to get 2, right?
I'm ready to give Deuce a 2-star here.
Yeah.
It's good, but I don't know if you're gonna play assist.
Too fluky, yeah.
Too fluky.
Yeah.
All right, let's give him a 3-star.
Okay.
Oh, 2-star.
I was gonna give him a 2.
Give him a 2 just for the.
Because his name's Deuce. Okay.
Yeah, just for the sake of.
All right.
All right, let's go to Brunson. 6 assists. Tom and I were talking about Brunson before. I mean, Brunson's an amazing player, but he's really not a pass first
Especially if
point
he's
guard.
cooking. Yeah, he's can get in that ball hog mode a little bit.
Yeah. But I feel like with Cat there, he's got a more legitimate second scorer on
for
his
sure.
team. So that's obviously, I'd be curious to see what percent of these assists are going to Cat. It's got to be a pretty high percentage.
A lot. Yeah.
But yeah, for 6 assists, you could see early in the season hit rate was pretty low. Of late, 8 out of his last 10. He did not clear against the Hawks. So let's see what he did against Atlanta. He only had 4 assists in that game and 21 points. So he actually had a down game overall.
Does that the season long one, if you put games with Cat, and I think Cat's only missed 2 or 3 games, but I wonder if that assist hit rate gets a little bit better if like maybe the 2 of the games without Cat.
Yeah, he's played 24 games this season. If we go up to the players section on Props Like Cash and go down to Cat, you can say with Cat.
Oh, it gets worse. A little worse.
It gets worse. Yeah. I mean, that actually makes sense, right? We just said a lot of his assists are coming
Yeah. Good
to
point.
Cat, right?
Good
So,
point. Yeah.
so anyway, so I think, I don't know. It's that
I just don't know. Like this could be a game. Like yes, Cat could like take this game over, right? And it could be a lot of assists. But I feel like also if Brunson's like his shots falling, like he could be the one that takes the game over. And I think there's too much up in the air. Like it could go one of those 2 ways to like really get behind this play. So I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, I think it's a 3.
Okay.
It's that lockdown defense by Trae Young. I mean, but that's like a legitimate thing, right? Like Brunson's going to burn past Trae and probably be shooting the ball more than passing.
Oh yeah, he'll have some Dyson Daniels defense as well. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for the assist in this game. Let's go to the points. Probably the scariest play. I've never played a play that has a 96% hit rate on the season that I feel less confident about. I mean, look at this dude. Josh Hart for 10 points. Like one of the most consistent probably the most consistent player in the league.
Yeah.
It's like him and John Collins. Like the 2 of them just are super consistent. 96% hit rate on the season. And if you look in the last 10, he's cleared in, I don't know, what is that? Probably like 12 plus game. I mean, he's cleared in every game but 1.
Yeah, it's amazing. We just sweated this out about 2 weeks ago on a big one where we needed the exact same thing, 10 points. He had 4 points through 4 quarters with about, 5 minutes left, right? Hit a 3, went on a little bit of a run, and finished with 11 in the last 4 minutes of the game to save it.
But in fairness, he was in foul trouble that game, right?
He actually
not
got
that he
those
wasn't.
last-
Yeah, it wasn't like he was missing shots. He just wasn't in the game. So
Correct. He
But
did
that
get
could
those last
happen
7
here.
points, with 5 fouls, which was incredible. But
like, how could you not be excited about this chart, right?
yeah,
It's like
no, I
all
love
green.
it. It's fine. Let's. Is it just a little too sweaty-ish that you don't want to give it 5? You want to give it 4, or you okay giving it 5 points?
I'm good
5
giving
stars?
it 5. I'm just getting over the anxiety from that last bet.
It's okay.
But we did cash, so Josh took care of us.
He did. He tucked us in nice.
Tuck this in. All right, let's go to Mikal Bridges at 13 points. And the cool thing about these NBA Cup games, a lot of times FanDuel doesn't release these by 1 increment lines. So like 13, 14. You have to only play like 10 points or 15 points until closer to the game. But with these NBA Cup games, they're coming out pretty early in the day. So these are out there. You can play Mikal Bridges for 13 points. Which gives you a lot of flexibility. So let's look at Mikal. His full line is 16.5. We're going to alt him down just a little bit to 13. I got my Nets hat on in support of Mikal. He's cleared in 83% of games this season, 8 of his last 10. He is a good matchup, DVP of 10. He's not the most efficient scorer.
Can you take a look at what he did against Atlanta last season?
Yeah, but look what he did against them this season.
I know. It has a different role. Obviously, he was the primary, shot creator for the Nets last season, and dropped 42, 45, and 38 points in 3 games against Atlanta last season.
Yeah.
Or if that was the last 2 seasons, but either way, I mean, it's pretty. And what did he do in the game? Oh, that's right. He was under in the game in November.
Yeah, 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has ticked up. I mean, you do see the production, right? Compared to the beginning of the season, those last 5 games, that gives you some hope there that whatever. It's not a 5-star play. I give it a 4.
I give it a 4. Little sidebar on Mikal Bridges. We were looking at this before we hopped on. Another great way to play Mikal Bridges is his alt PRA, which is available on FanDuel as well. If you look at him at 16.5 alt PRA, you can you get a 92% hit rate. So that's another way. But I would say 4-star. It's good play, not our favorite. 2 more point scorers here. We got DeAndre Hunter, who's been on an absolute tear since coming back.
Yeah.
What do we got him for? We got him for 14 points. His line is 17.5. So you can see small samples. So you got to be careful looking at these small sample guys because, obviously it means less when he's only played 14 games versus somebody who's played 22 or 23. But he has cleared in 79% of games this season, 7 out of his last 10. And if you look at his last, 7 or 8 games, he's like had 18 plus points. Did he play against the Knicks? Was he in that game?
No,
he wasn't there for that.
But look at it. Historically, against the Knicks, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like his role is larger now in the absence of DeJounte Murray, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson's absorbed a lot of that, but so is Hunter, I believe.
Yeah. Nice little thing going with these guys, Hunter, Johnson.
I'm surprised.
Ricochet.
The Hawks looked like
Dyson
they were in
Davis.
rebuild mode, and now they've,
Yeah.
they were talking about dumping players, but they actually look like they could do.
No, they got a nice little core. I mean, I think the one disposable one could be Trey. I think you could upgrade point guard, but the rest of those guys, I would.
Oh man, I mean, you want to hate Trey, but he's got something about his game that very few point guards have. Just that ability to draw fouls. Pass. I mean, he's still a top point guard in the league. Don't dismiss him.
Just not a very efficient scorer. But.
No. He's got to stop shooting threes and just get to the hoop. That's what he's got to do.
Yeah.
All right. 14 points. What do you think?
I like it. I do like it. I think based on the sample size, I think it's hard to get behind a 5, but this is a solid 4.
Solid 4.
Yeah. Right?
Solid 4.
Were you going 5?
No.
Leaning 5?
Not.
Okay. Yeah. Solid 4. Yeah.
All right. And back to the birthday boy, Okonwu. Might as well just grade this a 3 immediately. Oh, 8 points though, man. 8 points. It's hard to argue with 8 points.
It's hard to argue with 8 points.
Right? He's done this in 78% of games, 9 out of his last 10. If you take his minutes up to, 20, 22 even, he's cleared this in 88% of games. Let me just see what the odds are. What's your gut reaction on Okonwu for 8 points?
I don't know. Maybe it's a good play. Maybe we're thinking. Maybe we're overthinking it. Maybe we're not putting enough faith in Okongwu. I mean, the Knicks are not the defensive team they were last year, right? And they, it's a high total. He'll play decent minutes, 23, 24 minutes probably, right? There's no Mitchell Robinson to deal with. It's not a 5, but
yeah, he's projected for 25 minutes. He's cleared in 89% of games. You take him down to 7 points, it's even better, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what we did for Gafford last night. You were not feeling Gafford.
I wasn't.
He went out there, just did a couple dunks, and it was over. Third quarter, he got his part of that builder done.
He did.
I think it's a good play. I'm not going to give it a 5 because it's not even available on FanDuel, and that's where we're trying to put
right.
this builder together. So I think we'll give it a 4.
All right.
All right. Let's go to yeah, now all we got left is the 3-pointers.
So, as we intro that, this is what we looked at today. This is a great game for 3-pointers. If you look at Atlanta, they've allowed the second most 3-point attempts in the league and have allowed the highest opponent 3-point shooting percentage. Like, you don't get that combination a lot. You don't get like a lot of typically if they're giving up a lot of 3-point attempts, right, that percentage will come down. It's just more shots. That's just the way it works. So when you find something like that where it's like second most attempts, highest percentage, that's a target. But not only do we have one team in this game that's a good target like this, we have two. The Knicks have allowed the 4th most 3-point attempts so far this season, and opponents have the 3rd highest 3-point shooting percentage against the Knicks. So that just shapes up for a beautiful 3-point bonanza tonight. Bonanza? Let's go. We can put a nice little builder together here.
I mean, where do we even start?
Let's start with Cat.
All right, so you just want to run down the list. So
Real quick.
Cat for 1-3, 95% hit rate on the season, and 100% of his last 10. DVP of 10. It's projected for 2.5 threes. So 1-3 seems like a no-brainer.
1-3 is a no-brainer. Yeah, love it. 5 stars.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of odds you're getting on that, but
I think it was like minus 600 or something like that.
yeah, let's see here. Minus 700. Yeah.
Minus 700. So not great, but if you get 5, like 5 minus 700, somewhere around there, you can put together a plus 100.
Yep.
And then like what you can do, what Tom and I were talking about, which we'll probably put together after we're done here, you could put together like 5 guys to get 1-3, 5 or 6 guys to get 1-3, which is always fun. They just start like ticking off as they drop them, and then you could also take those same 5 guys and like have them all to get 2 threes.
Yep.
Right.
Especially in a game like this. Yeah.
All right, so Cat, you're putting at 5 stars.
Yes.
Who else do you like? Who else is who's next on the list?
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson.
1-3. Not as great. Like Cat's the 82nd percentile 3-point shooter. Jalen Johnson, 29th percentile. So definitely not as good. But for 1-3, it's probably a nice looking chart. It's a beautiful looking chart.
Yeah, and look at his last 3 games versus the Knicks, 4-2-3.
I love it.
All right, so we like that.
And that you're getting at minus 440, so a nice leg to throw in there. Of all the 1+ made threes that we're going to go through, that's probably one of the better ones. 5?
I would say 4.
4, okay. Miles McBride, 87th percentile 3-point shooter, 4 DVP. This is looking really nice. He's same as Cat, minus 700 for 1-3. I think this is pretty great. Like, he doesn't even get 1 that often, right? He's like, he gets 2 usually.
I like the volume too. I mean, he doesn't play huge minutes, maybe 28 minutes, but he's averaging 4.9 3-point attempts, which is why he's only getting 2 assists a game. Yeah, he's great. He's 5 for 1-3, right?
5? Yeah, let's go.
All right, who do we got next?
Bogdanovich.
Yeah, done. That's a 5.
Why am I not seeing him? I'm seeing him on FanDuel, but
I don't know if they offer him for 1.
That even for 2, he's not there.
Oh, even for 2.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just put him. Let's put him as a 3 then.
Okay.
Just so.
All right, Josh Hart.
Stuff we can't play. Josh Hart, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. You can see the big difference there, 43rd percentile. He gets the matchup, but yeah, I don't know. He's not showing up for 1-3 either.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough volume.
No.
Right, it's too inconsistent, so I'd put him as a 3.
Dyson Daniels, 1-3. These are brutal percentiles here. Dyson Daniels, 18th percentile, and this next guy, Ricochet, as well, 18th percentile. But Daniels looks like he's done that in 9 of his last 10 games, 1-3.
Yeah. Again, though, I don't like the variability. It's like you
Yeah.
get 6, and then you get 3, and then you get 6 and 6, and then back down to 3. I want guys who are putting up, good volume every game.
Yep. All right, 3.
All right.
Ricochet. Yeah. Same
Guys,
as
this
you.
kid's been coming on, man.
Yeah.
He's been a good surprise for the Hawks.
That chart's not getting me too excited.
No, but remember what he did against the Knicks. He had a career high 6 threes against the
Yes.
Knicks. So if you're gonna play him, just sprinkle a little on him to get 4 plus threes or something like that, just for fun. But in terms of a builder, I would kind of keep him out.
4 plus 3 is plus 1100.
There you go.
That's a fun little one. Yeah.
All right, so 3 for him.
Yeah. Mikal Bridges
Oh, he's got
for
like the ugliest 3-point form.
2 threes. Number 1 DVP matchup. 53rd percentile 3-point shooter. 8 of his last 10 games he's cleared this in.
Yeah,
I mean,
88% of games overall this season. Head-to-head against Atlanta, 9 straight games.
I mean, for one is he's minus 1100. for
That's okay, though.
1-3.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's add him into that.
But he's on our chart for 2 here. So what are we grading? 2 or 1?
Oh, okay. Let's look at him for 2 then.
Yeah. 2 is minus 260.
71% hit rate.
Yeah.
At home, he's done this in 4 straight. I think he gets there, but at 2, I would put him probably at a 3.
Yeah. All right. Last one. Jalen Brunson. 2 threes, 60 percentile, 4 DVP, 8 of his last 10. You get him for 2 threes for minus 360.
That I like.
Yeah, I'll take that in this game.
He had the last 3 games against Atlanta, 4, 6, and 8.
Yeah.
So high volume.
4? 4 or 5?
I'd give him a 4, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the one. So DeAndre Hunter wasn't on this list, but he's actually probably like he's my favorite 3-point target from this game. Real quick, just to give this one out. Jalen Brunson, DeAndre Hunter, Karl Anthony Towns, and Miles McBride, 2 threes apiece, get you plus 337. I love those 4 guys together.
So say it again. Jalen
Brunson, Cat, and McBride on the Knicks side for
Okay.
2 threes, and DeAndre Hunter on the Atlanta side for 2 threes, plus 337.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, feels good.
That's good. I like that play.
Yeah.
And if you don't like one of those legs, just take it out. You'll still get probably plus 200
Yeah,
or
for
something
sure.
like that. So.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the full Knicks game. We'll recap that in a second Knicks-Hawks game, to be fair. Let's look at I'm going to pull up the sheet again. We'll take a look at the Warriors-Rockets. All right.
Love the Rockets tonight.
Yeah. Love the Rockets to win. Love the Rockets in the alt props, but had some problems finding a lot of Rockets that for straight plays.
Yes.
When we were just because the Rockets they're a deep team, right? And their minutes are kind of variable. You were pointing that out to me before.
Yeah, Udoka, he doesn't stick with his those the 5 starters, and it's a deeper rotation. He doesn't have any problem sitting Green or Şengün or the only one that doesn't really sit too much is FEV, but other than that, he'll mess around with those rotations quite a bit. So it's hard to really lock in on guys from the Rockets side just because that's the way Udoka operates.
So before we dive in, the best section in here is actually the rebounds. If you just look at the rebounds, both teams have great opportunities. 8 DVP, 13 DVP, 6, 1, 9. So a lot of great opportunities. We put out a builder. First play we put out in our Discord this morning was mostly rebound props. So
You see
love
all those-
them in this game.
Yeah, you see all those cleaning the glass rankings to the
Yeah.
right hand side. They're all bright green, 98, 92nd percentile. So not only good DVP spots, but good rebounders at their positions as well. So
And good projections to go along
yeah,
with it, right?
Yeah. Really nice targets from this game. Yeah.
All right, so let's look at the first player on the list. Who was it?
Şengün. Yeah. Şengün for 8 rebounds. He's done in 8 of his last 10. 81st percentile, 8 DVP. That looks like a beautiful chart to me. I can get behind that one with a 5.
Yeah, and 2 games against the Warriors this season, 10 and 8. And if you look at some comps, centers against the Warriors, Rudy Gobert 9 and 11, Nasri 10, Şengün 8, Jokic 10, Hartenstein 14, Zaire Williams 10. Just goes on and on.
Yeah.
That's not their strength. They're not good in the front court. Maybe they'll play Looney a little bit more tonight, and that'll
that's a
make
good
it a
point.
little harder. But that's a great chart. I like that one for a 5.
5? Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, this kid is awesome, man.
Amen
Amen Thompson.
Let's go. Love this
Right?
guy. Yeah.
98th percentile rebounder for his position. So it's like him and Sohan, right? Like those
Yes.
2 guys are just like
Yeah.
just undersized beasts. They're like little Dennis Rodmans in the making,
Little Dennis Rodman's. I like that.
right? All right, so his prop was for 6.5 rebounds. What do we have him here? 4 or 5 on our list?
Sorry, we have him at 5. 9 of
Yeah.
his last 10, 13 DVP. Both games clear. I think he crushed this in both games against the Warriors, right?
Yeah, he had 11 and 8. Steph didn't play in those games, I don't think. I don't think Steph played in either of those games. So maybe he got it. I don't even know what the score was, actually. Forgot to look at that. But maybe he got some extended run. Let me just see what his minutes were. 33 in that one game. 22 is more like kind of his
Yeah, we
minutes
have him
range.
projected for 25 tonight.
Yeah, he should play about 25 tonight. But regardless of minutes, this kid gets 4 rebounds in every game.
This is a 5-star play for me.
And 5, we put him in a builder in the Discord for 4 rebounds, only because the alts weren't out yet, so I couldn't get him for 5, but I would have upped that to 5. If you'd bump his minutes, look at these games in the beginning of the season, he was barely playing any time. If you just get him up to like 21 minutes,
Yeah.
22, look at this, 22 minutes, he's cleared 5 rebounds in 19 of 19 games. I think if you go 30 games back, look at this, Tom. If you
Wow.
go 30 games back, he's cleared 5 rebounds in
Yeah.
29 out of 30 games when he plays 22 plus minutes.
It's amazing.
That's a home run.
FanDuel knows because they're not offering alt lines on him. Everybody else except him. So
Yeah, all right. So if you can't get him for 5, then play him for 4, right?
Yeah.
Like he's good at 4 too, obviously.
yeah.
All right. Steph Curry for 4 rebounds. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like it. He's a pretty good rebounder at the guard position, 72nd percentile, good matchup, 6 DVP. He missed both games, I think, against Houston this season, right?
He did, but he's got a good history against Houston. Look at his
Yeah.
history against Houston.
Look at that. Yeah, pretty. And Houston, obviously, very similar team to last season. So if we look at what he did against them last season, both these teams very similar to the teams they were
True.
fielding last year. So, yeah, I think I like that
and look-
stuff for 4.
The first, 6 games of the season, he wasn't really playing more than 26 minutes.
Yeah.
He's going to play 32 to 38 minutes. Well, maybe not 38, 32 to 35 minutes, I would say, tonight. So if we just take him up to 28 minutes, Steph is cleared in every game but 1 this season. So that's why we like him for alt builder for 4 rebounds.
Yeah.
We also liked his RA. You can read more about that in the Props.Cash blog article that's up on X. But yeah, his RA at 10.5 is really nice tonight too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
5-star, 4-star. What do you like?
I find it a little hard to get behind like 5 stars for a guard rebounding, and it just feels a little aggressive to me. So
Other
I'm
than
go-
Amen Thompson.
Well, he's like a wing kind of guy, you know. I'll go 4 on Steph.
Okay, 4 on Steph. Tari Eason, your favorite player in the NBA, for 5 rebounds. I don't know why.
You
Dude,
don't know why?
if you showed me, 5 people, I'm not sure I could pick Tyrese and
Oh,
out of
come
a
on.
group of 5 people.
Come on. For 5 rebounds.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at this guy.
He's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, and he'll be out there. These two guys, Udoka goes to Thompson and Eason like for their defense, and I'm telling you, they're going to want to win this game. Not that Golden State's not going to want to, but they're they're playing at home. I could see him playing a little bit more minutes than usual in this one. So yeah, I like this one quite a bit. That's him at 20 plus minutes. That's
Yeah, he's
beautiful.
projected for 21 minutes. I'm just seeing what his line is at. Can you get him on FanDuel or no?
Let me see. I don't think he's usually not available now.
Yeah, I didn't see him earlier today. But if he becomes, so let's put him as a 3.
Oh, Amen Thompson is available though. I don't know if that just popped up or I just missed it before, but
Yeah, Amen Thompson for 5 is minus 400. That's
yeah,
amazing.
correct. Yeah.
That's amazing odds.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just put Tari as 3. It is a great play, but you can't. We won't be able to combine them in the builder. So
Yeah. Okay.
all right, and Draymond for 5 rebounds. What do you think about Draymond at 5?
Draymond, not a good, only a 21st percentile rebounder, but that's because he's a big and he does, his game's a little different than a lot
Yeah.
of bigs, so that's why.
They're comparing him to like Jokic and Sabonis
Correct,
and Kat,
correct,
right?
correct,
Like that's
correct.
not a fair comparison.
Yes, and we're only talking about 5 here. 5 rebounds, 9 of his last 10. Good matchup. What did he do in the games against Houston this season?
11 rebounds.
I only played in one of them, but 11 rebounds. Yeah, definitely. Look at that. Every single game, going back to last season.
Little. My only caution is Dylan Brooks will be on the other side, and there's like probably a
that both of them will
50%
get
chance,
ejected.
yeah, that they're going to get ejected. So that's probably the biggest risk of Draymond. But if he plays, what do we got him projected for? 30 plus minutes?
We have him at 31. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't love him at 5. I loved him at 4. We actually put him in a builder for 4. So I don't know. I give him a 4-star, to be honest with you. I don't think
Yeah.
it's the best matchup, but I do think he's good for 4.
All right. Assists.
Let's go to Steph for a low 4 assists.
4
Nothing.
assists. Yeah. 44th percentile. Obviously, he's not a. There's a lot more. He's almost more of a shooting guard. But is this accurate? 10 of his last 10 games. Are we correct? Yeah. Look at that.
Forget 10 of his last 10. He's 17 of his last 18, regardless of minutes.
Wow.
Lock it in. 5. Move on.
All right. Okay.
Right? Like, what are
Yeah.
we
No, I
talking
agree.
about? He's amazing. It's not a great matchup, but it's 4 assists for Steph.
Yeah.
Draymond for 4 assists.
Yeah, Draymond, 98th percentile assist guy as a big man. Like you said, not a great matchup against the Rockets, but he's also cleared his 4 assists in 10 straight games. Probably a great hit rate on the season, especially if you drag those minutes up a little bit.
Yeah, if you get him up to even just 28 plus minutes, he's got a 93% hit rate.
Yeah, and only once just getting to 4. I mean, his 5s, 6s, and 7s all throughout there. So I like that. That's a 5.
I bet let's see if that improves in games where Steph is out there with him too.
I would imagine.
Yeah, so perfect.
Yeah,
10 for 10 in games with Steph.
they got that connection.
Yeah, let's play that one. 5-star.
All right.
All right. B-Pod.
B-Pod.
Podziemski for 2 assists. This doesn't feel great.
No, it is available at minus 310 on FanDuel
Wow.
for
That's
the
really
2
good odds.
assists. Yeah.
Oh,
62nd percentile. He has done it in 10 straight games. What do the potentials look like?
he's averaging 6.8 potentials, but let's look at games where he played with Steph because he's one of the biggest beneficiaries of Steph being out.
Yeah.
When Steph is out. I mean, still pretty good. 76% hit rate. His potentials with Steph in the game are still 6, but it is very variable. It's like games with 8,
Yeah.
games with. He's like one of those. I do like his recent minutes 22, 20+ minutes every game.
Yeah.
But he is one of those guys where if Kerr wants to be Kerr,
Yeah.
he could just put Beapod on the bench, right?
3
So,
stars.
3 stars.
All right.
We're not messing around.
No.
You and Miles McBride. Jalen Green for 2 assists. That also, he did clear in both games against the Warriors, but that also just does not feel.
He's a 6th percentile assist guy. Just not his focus out there. He wants to score when he's out there.
Yeah.
I
This is
don't
all
like-
coming on double teams, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. That's a 3.
Okay.
FVV, Fred Van Vliet, 5 assists.
That feels good. I'm surprised to see him only as a 37th percentile assist guy. He has been off this season a little bit, but I feel like he's picked it up lately. Am I correct? Yeah, I guess.
But then he had 2 down games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, his minutes are back to like FVV like minutes, right? 30.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's gonna play big minutes in this game.
He is, but I don't know if I love him for 5 assists.
What did he do in the games against Golden State?
Good. 5. I mean, 5 and 5. So he just got there.
I'll give him 4 stars.
4. Yeah, I think this is a 4-star.
Yeah.
All right, and back to Mr. Shingun for.
Love it.
I almost included this in the builder.
I love it. 4 assists for Şengün, 8 of his last 10, 8 DVP, 91st percentile. They don't call him Baby Jokic for nothing. 91st percentile, 35 minutes he's projected for, same as Van Vliet in this game. And look at the uptick recently over those last 6 games. That's just beautiful.
Yeah. There were a bunch of games where he didn't really play like big minutes either. So he's been playing bigger minutes. Like this is what he's done with 30+ minutes. So
This is a 5-star.
5.
Yeah.
I think so. I struggled with this one this morning for some
I
reason,
like it.
but I think it's good.
I like it.
All right, here we go. Points.
Draymond for
Back
6
to Draymond.
points.
6 points. How does it get better than that? Let me pull up the chart. You go through the numbers, and I'll let you know if it's even.
Draymond for 6 points, minus 320 on FanDuel. He's done it in 9 of his last 10. 29th percentile scorer, so not great. The projection's nice, though. 22 DVP. How's that chart look? Probably when the minutes are up, right? He's going to
When
play
he
minutes.
plays 29+ minutes, he's cleared in every game this season. I bet, he's cleared in 87% of his last 30
6
games.
points in a quarterfinal NBA Cup game for Draymond. Yeah, that feels good.
That's a 5-er.
Yeah, okay.
I like that one. All right, Amen Thompson for 9 points. Seems interesting. All right.
It does. 8 of his last 10. 82nd percentile score. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that. I thought it would have been less. Projected for 25 minutes, like we said earlier. How's that look? I feel like his PR is probably a great play to put those
It
two
is,
together
but
there.
it's
Look at him lately, though.
He's been good against the Warriors too. He had 18 and 14.
What's that 3 down there? What happened in that game?
Well, he just was off, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
It was against Sacramento. Played the minutes, but
Yeah.
I like him for 8 points. I was looking at this one earlier to include in the builder. Let's see what you can get him odds-wise. Amen Thompson for 9 points is minus 280. 8 points is minus 420.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing a manual override on this one.
You want him at 8? You want to include those other 2?
I do.
We got Rowdy Rhymes in the chat asking what game will be the most exciting tonight.
I mean, it's always the second game, right?
It feels that way.
It's always the West Coast game that's more
I don't
exciting.
know. Knicks Hawks is I'm excited for both of these games. Knicks
I have
Hawks.
to tell you too, the Magic Bucks game was exciting too, man.
It was, dude. The Dame with that step back to tie it up at 106 or whatever it was. Yeah.
Suggs was just going out of his mind. Like it was cool, man.
It's amazing. Banchero's having the season of his career, right? He gets hurt. Now Franz steps up. He's having this monster season. He gets hurt. Now Suggs is. It's like next guy up, and the Magic are awesome.
All right. So
Sorry.
Ahmed Thompson for what? 4? You want to give him a 4 at 8, or you want to give him
We'll give him a 5 at 8.
5? Okay, 5 at 8. All right, Steph, 19 points.
That feels right. 8 of his last 10, 82nd percentile score. 73rd percentile. A little down. He got off to a little bit of a rough start, but I think he's been a little better lately, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is just like his rebounds, just like his assists. When he plays 30-plus minutes, he gets there. He's got a good, if I recall, look at that history against the Rockets. I remember him just torching them in some of these games, right? It's not the same player as he was then, but still, 19 points feels good. I'm a little cautious.
4.
I would still put him out as a 4. This Rockets defense is
very good. Yeah.
Very good. All right, Şengün for 16. You like Şengün for 16?
I always like Şengün. You know that.
But he didn't do so great against the Warriors, right? He had 16 and 14.
I'm a little surprised by that. 8 of his last 10, though. 83rd percentile scorer. Home? Any better at home?
71% overall, 75% at home. At home, if you take him down to 14, it's better.
What about minutes? Minutes down in those games?
No, he played 30 minutes in this one that he missed. I think it's a 4. I think it's a good play, but not like doesn't.
It's definitely not a 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Your boy Andrew Wiggins, 14 points. What do you think?
Wiggins, 8 of his last 10. Terrible matchup, 72nd percentile. I with a good defensive team like the Rockets, I'm not going to get behind a weak Andrew Wiggins play.
Wow.
Some Andrew Wiggins slander there.
Feels like you brought something from the past with you on that one.
I might have.
All right, give him a 3.
All right.
And B-Pod for 5 points. Is that even playable?
Let's
make sure it's playable before we waste our time here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, minus
Dude,
230.
You can play him as low as 3 points.
3 points, minus 580.
Hold on a second. We might.
They don't usually offer that. I guess this is little extra offerings because of the cup games. It must be. You got Tari Eason alt points. Kevon Looney rebounds.
Just stay on track here, buddy.
Feels like a sneaky spot there.
For 5 points, looks pretty good, right? I mean, he's done this games with 18-plus minutes. He's projected for 25 minutes. Again, he's a little scary. I would like him better at 4, to be honest with you. And you get that for minus 400.
Yeah.
I could see him scoring twice, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, even still, I mean, I don't think it's a 5-star play.
All right, let's bring him down to 4, and let's call it a 4-star play.
Okay.
All right, let's wrap it up with the threes. We got Steph for 3 threes.
Yeah, 10 straight games. Not a great matchup. 28 DVP. Obviously, we know Steph, 95th percentile 3-point shooter.
That's hard to argue with.
That is. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 5-star.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Wiggins, 3 stars. Let's not leave him look.
Wiggins, 3 stars. Buddy.
He has done it in 10 straight games.
Come on. You can't dog his points and then play his threes.
Yeah.
Wiggins for Buddy for 2.
Yeah, 8 of his last 10. Again, not a great matchup, but he's been pretty good.
And I think he's starting, right? Is what we concluded before.
For 2 threes for Buddy.
It's all about minutes, man.
Minus 350 on that one.
I can't ever get Buddy right.
No.
Let's put him as a 3.
Yeah. Jabari Smith Jr. Last one.
1-3 for Jabari. That seems right.
He did it in both games against the Warriors. 9 of his last 10, 5 DVP. Great matchup. 69th percentile 3-point shooter at his position. I feel like I will like this one.
I like it, but again, the volume isn't there to justify a 5-star play. But
Correct. All right,
it is
4.
definitely a 4-star, especially if you look at his last 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 5, 4, 7, 9. I could even be convinced to play Jabari straight at two
Yeah.
threes, but
Yeah, agree.
I don't know if I'd ruin a builder throwing 1 3 in there. So
Okay, 4 stars. Rowdy
baby.
Rhymes asked, "Do the Rockets cover the 2.5-point spread tonight?"
it's Rockets minus 2.5. Is that what
It
it is?
was. It's gone up. It was. I think I might have even seen it at 1.5 yesterday. It was when I woke up this morning. It was 2. It's up to 2.5 now. I think I still like it at 2.5, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
think
I'm
so.
I'm feeling the Rockets in this game.
Or take, if you want to just play the money line, you don't want to give up any points. One thing that we sometimes do is we'll take the money line, or even the Rockets plus 2.5 alt line, and then add one of these builders, right, and minus 300 to it, and you're back to plus 100. So that's
And
another.
dude, minus 130 for the money line on the Rockets. I mean, I don't.
Oh,
mind
that's
that.
all it is. Wow.
Yeah. Minus 136.
All right. All right, let's do a quick summary here. Let's just look at our 5 stars. Does that work for you?
That works.
What we're gonna do, we're not gonna be able to do this in the next 3 minutes, but we're gonna take all these 5 stars and we're gonna put them all into one builder. I'm gonna drop that on X, and we will also include the link so you guys can tail along. Should get us, what is this? How many legs do we have here? This is
14
legs in total, right? So
Should be some
that
monster
should
odds.
get us. Last time we played a 14-legger, we got somewhere a little over a plus 1,000. So if you take all these 5 stars, you put them together, you should get around plus 1,000 or so.
Let's go. Love it.
But yeah, just running through it real quick. We got Cat for 10 rebounds, Şengün for 8 rebounds, Josh Hart for 6 rebounds, Jalen Johnson for 7 rebounds, Amen Thompson for 5. On assists, we have Curry for 4 assists, Draymond for 4 assists, Şengün for 4 assists, and then scoring, we got Josh Hart for 10. Going to be sweaty. Draymond Green for 6, and Amen Thompson for our reduced manual override 8 points. Cat for 1 3, Curry for 3 threes, and Miles Deuce McBride for 1 3. Put all those together, we're probably looking at a plus 10.
Smells like a winner.
Plus
Smells
11.
like a winner to me.
Feels good, man. Feels so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And look
Nice.
how much
It's-
green there is on the CTG ranks too.
that-
The only player
I love
who's,
that.
Yeah, Steph is like really the only one who's kind of an outlier, and Draymond an outlier again because of his uniqueness. But everybody else is like a great ranking
Yeah.
on Clean the Glass, great projection, pretty good DVP. Everybody is cleared against their opponent too. Look at that, except for Draymond for 4 assists. So I think
Yeah.
this is good. Nice little builder we just put
Yeah.
together.
Look at us. Look at us. Who's better
But
than us?
feel free to take any of those 4. If you take any 4 of these, you'll get probably to plus 100. So
Yeah.
don't just go for broke. Try to build a little money by just getting a 4-legger together, and then use some of those winnings to try to win a big
Ladder it
parlay, too.
up. Yeah.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Nice work today. Super excited for these 2 games, and super excited to see what the odds are going to be for these 14 legs. So there's Alex. There he is. What's up, buddy?
Guys, I have a no sweat token sitting in my FanDuel that I am ready to deploy on this plus 1,000 builder, which is
Let's
a
go.
very just a funny statement in general. Plus 1,000 builder.
I
but
know.
It is. Might compile a couple others, like you said, to get to a plus money play, stack some units there. But fellas, you killed it as always. Guys, reminder: there's a 50% off link to their DubClub right underneath this stream. If you like what you heard during this, go sign up. This is the best time of the year. They have a bunch of contributors in their Discord. Obviously, these two are very smart and know exactly what they're doing. So. Fellas, another fantastic show. Thank you so much for hopping on DCTV again. And let's cash, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
All right.
All right,
Thanks for
let's
having
go.
us. Let's make
Thank
some money
you.
tonight.
Fellas.